I am like a kid in a candy store right now. Welcome to Elkhart, Indiana. We are at Teo Designs with the legend Dean Louds.
Hey everybody.
There is so much cool stuff that happens in this building behind us. Dean, you want to tell us a little bit about where we're at and what's going on?
104 Rush Court, Elkhart, Indiana. That's where it all happens.
Well, let's go take a look inside and see what's going on. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's a couple Liberty coaches, Dean Stacker trailer. I like how the parking lot's looking so far. But
oh, there's a lot of neat stuff inside too. Come on in.
This is where the magic happens.
If you come to the Art of Design, which is Teod, T-A-O-D, the Art of Design, you'll walk in and this is the gallery. These are all the paintings I've done, and I had a standalone gallery for 4 or 5 years over by Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. That transferred over here with all my traveling and stuff. It's just easier to keep track of everything. Here it is.
Yeah, and first off, I want to show you guys, this is one of my favorite paintings, the Puma boat.
So this is the replica of what I painted. It's got the tentacles on the side. The boat is 70 feet long. 70 feet from front to back. The mast is over 100 feet tall. And this boat sailed 37,000 miles around the world for the Volvo Ocean Race. Puma came to me and they said, will I paint a boat for the Volvo Ocean Race? And I said, well, what do you want? They had it designed, but they didn't know how to paint it and paint the bottom. They didn't know if they were going to use a vinyl stencil or if they're going to use paint. They sent printed vinyl. And they said, here's your carbon fiber that's just like the boat. It's a honeycomb. Here's a panel and there's a panel. Put the vinyl on one panel and paint the other, and let's weigh them and see which one's less. In the end, they opted for the paint and we painted the whole boat. Then I thought, well, I'll do a painting of the boat.
Now, one of my favorite videos on YouTube, it hasn't gotten very many views at all. I will leave a link in the description. It's called Sea Monster Implications, and it's basically the team that raced in this boat. Basically, the tentacles and the octopus and everything was so real on the boat that they had to worry about whales basically trying to mate with the boat or eat the boat. Yeah.
They were talking about what's going to happen when it goes around the world. What are the whales and sea creatures going to think about this boat? So take a look at this painting over here. So this one, as you can see, this is like full scale. This is how big the end of the tentacles were.
Yeah.
And so you've got just little details and nuances, but this is the way it was full size, but for 70 feet.
And that's a super cool, like I'm actually thinking about like in my living room, I've got some reds and some cool colors.
Yeah, right.
What would that, I mean, it's, I know the story behind it, but it's almost like an abstract painting for someone that doesn't know.
Oh yeah, right.
How much dough would that cost? If I came to you $100 bills, what would that painting cost to buy out of your gallery right here, right now?
Oh, I'd probably do that one. I mean, it's got so much history on that one. I mean, it's just really, it's part of the Volvo Ocean Race. That was a year-long race. Captain Ken has got a lot of history. I mean, the whole thing, I don't know, probably $6-7 grand.
Okay. Hey, $6,000-7,000 with all the history for a piece of artwork. I know there's artists that charge a lot more than that, so I think that's very reasonable.
I have some that are more, but you know, that one's it's rather small, and for what it is, it was fairly simple to do at that size, but when you combine it on 70 feet and what it was when it was completed, it's quite a piece of artwork. I mean, the boat should be in a gallery.
Check out the video Sea Monster Implications. It's on Dean's YouTube channel, and actually make sure to subscribe to Dean's YouTube channel as well. A lot of really cool, really highly produced stuff that they've done over the years. They just have a lot of other stuff going on, so they don't post as often as I do, but I geek out. I go back every like 6 months or so, I'll go back and watch like 10 videos on Dean's channel. There's some really cool stuff. And actually, if you find another funny story, and I'll leave a link to this specific video in the description below, but like 7 or 8 years ago, the Travel Channel was out filming at Sturgis, where we just were a couple weeks ago. The Travel Channel guys randomly like called me over and said like, hey, will you tell this guy how cool his artwork is or something? I'm like, Absolutely. So that was
That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we
And
originally
I didn't know it for years later.
yeah. I've been detailing Dean's bus for several years, so really cool how everything's evolved. But go check out that travel channel if you guys want to see how far back Dean and I go. I'm looking at this picture here. This is wild. I mean, I think this may be a little too funky for me. I think there's maybe some gambling, maybe some smoking. What's all going on in this one?
Well,
the flower?
So I was on a cruise. In order to get outside, they make you walk through the casino. And I hadn't been in a casino for a while at that point, and I thought, wow, this is just weird. All these people are huddling over their machines, and they have multiple machines, 2 or 3 of them, and they're pulling, and everything's going on, lights are flashing, all this activity. All I want to do is get outside. So I was disturbed by it, so I thought I'll do the sketch. So I took my sketchbook, and I did a whole series of these gambling scenes. Now, to look at it, you initially just think it's a gambling scene. Okay?
Yeah.
But the story behind it is that this guy is in his motorized cart. Okay, he's got the wheels.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
So he's done this so long that he doesn't care what he wears. So he's got the flowers and the plaid both. Which you don't ever wear if you don't know. Okay.
I'm not even noticing all these details.
He's strapped in so he doesn't fall out.
Yeah.
He's got his seatbelt on. He smokes a little too much, which nobody should smoke.
Yeah.
And then he's hard of hearing, so he's got his hearing aid. But he's been to all these different places around the world, okay? And he's pulled the handle, which has the dollar signs on it, and the dollar signs are spinning. You can tell the lights are flashing with the energy going on, and he's got dollar signs in his eyes, right? And all this stuff's going on. And when he wins, so it just lights up, he's the winner, he gets fed intravenously. So it happens like instant now. It's not, you don't even have to wait and you don't have to walk up, he just gets fed.
I didn't even see it. Oh, this is so cool. Like, oh, wow.
The real part of the story is that he's been doing this long enough that he didn't realize until the door opened up that there's more to life with the happy flower and with the smile on his face and the blue sky. Then there's a series of them, and the next one gets a little more, his cousin Vinny's in it, and he's got the big glasses, and he's gambling, and then it goes evil, and there's skulls up there watching him because it's getting bad.
Yeah, well, no, and that's kind of like the vibe, like, because I'm not a big gambler. I don't like to waste my money at a casino. I have a couple times, but it's even like $100. I lose $100, and I'm like mad. I've never left a casino really being in a good mood. Like, there's no amount of money that I'm gonna win that's really gonna make me that. It's just I just don't get excited about casinos personally.
So take this as your life when you decided to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. You're trying new things. You're maybe not always up for wearing the best stuff, but you got to get out. And you're doing it every day, and it's a gamble.
Yep.
Life's a gamble. I mean,
Absolutely.
you took a gamble to go do it, and that's what he's doing. He's gambling. Now, he is really gambling, but really this painting was more about life and people that maybe get too involved with what you're doing. You go to work 24/7 for 100 years, and you look back and you go, gee, I missed my happy flower.
You should have been just over there looking at the ocean and the flower. Yeah. Now, I like now that I heard the story on this, like right away I was like, dude, I couldn't put that in my house. Like, it's like this kind of vicious looking dude gambling with this big cigar, and I'm like, ugh. But now that I understand the whole story, I would actually hang this in my house. Now, I need to get a lot of views, so I appreciate all of you liking these videos and subscribe to the channel, because I need as many of you as possible if I ever want to buy anything like this. But what would this cost me?
This is around $15,000 right now.
Oh, I believe it. And
this is a very special piece. I've got every drawing that I originally did for the whole series is all sketched out, and what started the whole thing. So if I had them up, there'd be 3 or 4 of them, and some of them are 4 foot by 8 foot. And this is 4 foot by 4 foot. So
nice. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes a lot deeper than just painting Prevost buses outside. Now I'm starting to understand more. The more I hang out with Dean, the more I understand why his Liberty Coach paint jobs are just so over the top to the next level. I'm blown away, man.
We got different stand mixers and toasters for KitchenAid. Very fortunate to be one of the only artists ever to have a signed contract for the University of Notre Dame and with KitchenAid. So Notre Dame, I could paint any picture, and I'll show you a series of them here that I've done. We can paint a stand mixer, we could paint your car with the Notre Dame logos on it, and I could get it approved through Notre Dame and get that done. We've done floors and garages, we've done paintings and all kinds of helmets and toasters and stand mixers. And the bookstore over at Notre Dame has got my paintings in it, and it's got this stand mixers and toasters that you can buy right there. Well, these are prints of the originals. These are for Notre Dame. These are based from the photos I took over at Notre Dame, and then it was with my style. So this has actually got the history of Notre Dame ghosted in the background.
Wow. That's incredible. What would that cost? I see it's 95 out of 100. So this is a print then?
Yeah. The prints on these are 1,800 framed, ready to go.
Well, that's a great deal.
Yeah, the originals were 20,000, and, and they were all sold.
Yeah. Same thing, 1,800 for the wow. Mm-hmm. And these are both 95 out of 100. Very cool.
The Ferrari up there, I did a series for the La Ferrari, the launch when they brought that car in the United States. Collie Ferrari asked if I would do a series of paintings for the launch of the car that they were going to throw a party for. And I did probably 6 or 8 different Ferrari paintings for that.
And this is just so incredible, all of the detail. And it reminds me, it has a similar style to that Porsche painting I saw.
Yeah.
I saw you do that same kind of, where you see all the chaos from the road, kind of just such a cool painting.
So what's neat is this is actually done with the real white of the Ferrari paint that was.
Oh, really?
Real paint.
So you got the white paint from Ferrari?
I got the white paint from the manufacturer that supplies it to Ferrari in the right paint code.
Nice.
You know, so it's actually the white that's on it, and then it's been cleared with the automotive clear and then sand and buff, so you can come out and polish and wax your painting if you want.
Nice. I do want to touch it, but I'm afraid to. But
touch it. There's nothing. It's just automotive.
Gosh, guys, this is like a 20,000, 40,000. What is this? 28,000, ladies and gentlemen. 28 grand? Yeah, 28 grand. I can't believe Dean's letting me touch a 28,000. Oh, it's like, it's literally like automotive paint, like totally, wow. And I think is it ceramic coated?
No, I should. I mean, before I'd probably get rid of it. This was done back before we had the ceramic, so.
Yeah. This is something that's really kind of different than anything else I've seen you do. What's going on here?
Well, 2 high-heeled shoes. So the base of the shoe is here, the shoe comes down here, and the second shoe is in the background, and then you've got the laces and then a plumage up here, but a very 3-dimensional coloring on the copper to change the look.
And what is that? What would that cost if I came to you with $100 bills?
Oh, probably about 8,000 on that piece.
8 grand. Okay, and then is this copper as well?
Yeah.
What is? This is just
fun.
Incredible. What's going on here?
Well, it's kind of like a guy in a paint mask.
That's it.
What do I do next? Help me.
Is that for sale? That's almost
yeah, 1,500 on that.
Wow, 1,500? That's a super cool piece of artwork for 1,500 bucks. And there's some reasonable stuff in here. Like not everything in here is, $10,000 or $20,000. You got, how much do those blenders cost too? Like those Notre Dame blenders?
2,500 on the Notre Dame blenders.
Okay, 2,500, yeah.
Stand mixers, yeah.
But 1,500, I think that's super cool.
Well, copper is, kind of pinkish. It's copper colored, but in its raw form, it's different than when it ages and gets green, or when you heat it up. And the neat thing with the copper is you get these different colors even throughout. Like up in here, you've got magentas, you got blues and purples that all come from copper once it's heated. And so when I originally said I wanted to weld copper, the welding company goes, well, you can't weld copper. It's like, well, why not? They said, well, because the stick that comes out to weld it is different material than the copper. It just doesn't work. And I was like, well, we got to figure something out. So I use brass to weld copper.
Nice.
And it works.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is that I didn't want it ever perfect, so it takes so much brass to get it on there, but that was the style I wanted, was this, kind of imperfection that makes it look cool when it's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a raw, industrial.
Yeah. This is all hand cut with the plasma torch here. The patterns are all hand cut.
Wow. That is a really neat piece. That is too, 15,000 or... What did you say?
8,000.
8,000 and 1,500. I mean, that's seriously. This is some of the coolest artwork around. And I mean, for like car guys like myself, you know what? You go to these stores and it's like I'm a single dude, man. I don't want a bunch of like pictures of flowers in my house unless it's next to that guy in the casino.
Right,
I know that one, but yeah, no, really. I think this is a great way for someone looking for some art. Don't you know, bypass Dean's place, because I think there's some great values for some really incredible artwork in here. So
I've probably got 200 pieces, or at least 150 that aren't even in here.
oh, really? Yeah. Wow. Real quick, before we go in there, I've got to call out my buddy Marty here. My buddy Marty, I just helped him sell his country coach. He's a huge fan of Notre Dame. Marty, I think that one of these Notre Dame blenders or mixers would look really good in your house, buddy.
So after I design any painted project that's going to happen, it's got to have the templates cut. Now the templates are like masking tape, and anything that's bright yellow that you see either sitting in here in rolls or on a coach or anything we're painting is usually the masking tape. We started this back in 1990. So you go back, 1988, I get introduced to the computer. 1990, on semi-pro skateboard, and I moved back to Indiana, and I start buying computer equipment because I know what I'm going to do on a large scale. I don't know it's going to be motorhomes, I don't know it's Liberty Coach, but I know that I'm going to use this computer in a way that I want to use it, and I didn't realize how brand new it was in the whole industry. Now back in 1990, nobody knew anything about this. Slightly thereafter, or around at the same time, Prevost started using the technology to paint their half-inch pins with the designs that come off of a standard Prevost paint job. But we quickly took it to a whole different level and kept plowing through with all the 500 boats, power boats we painted, and doing things micro, small, and stand mixers to very large projects like the Puma boat, all designed off the computer and used templates. There was a point in time in the late 90s that some of the competitors says, you know, they don't know why I'm using templates, that's just not going to work, and they're just going to keep laying it out by hand and cutting on the vehicle and putting cut marks and stuff. But obviously everyone's changed, and by mid-2000s, even all the motorhome companies and Elkhart use the technology that we started back in the mid-90s.
One of my absolute favorite videos that I've ever had the chance to film was when we were down in Florida, and I think it's titled From Skateboarding to Painting Liberty Coaches or something along those lines. And I think my demographic saw skateboarding in the title, so they didn't click on it, but that's definitely a video worth checking out. I will leave a link in the description below where Dean really tells his whole story about how he went out to California. I mean, just airbrushing t-shirts. He's got just an incredible story. So, but that's all in another video, so make sure you go check that one out too. But let's see what's going on here. So, and real quick before we go that, this is the goods, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about right here.
The hot juice right there, the hot juice.
That's the latest and the greatest. I've been in the detail industry for a long time, and this right here doesn't get any better than this, hands down. What's being printed? Oh, this is the labeling for the detail stuff? Or?
No, these are just stickers so we can put them on bathroom stalls, and when we're traveling around, put it on your car.
There it is.
I'll
put one
next. So
yeah.
Just wanted to show you that it's being done and the printer's printing away.
Well, what's going on in this room?
So as we're going to see later with Dynamax, we're going to go over and see Dynamax. We cut a lot of templates for Forest River and Dynamax, and so after the designs happen, they come here and the machines cut the templates for us.
I remember in that Sea Monster Implications video, they were talking about how much work goes into this is really where the work happens. The cutting all the stencils, the painting and putting the paint down is one thing, but this is where the magic happens.
That's right. So. That's right. We like to think that the talent it takes to do this, you got to get really good at either large things or small things. And if you're cutting a straight line, that's one thing. But we've gotten to where these machines, the blade goes down and it drags around, and we've done little eyelashes that are thinner than hairs, and the vinyl peels off. We've got incredibly detailed work off of these machines.
Saw these two bikes out in Sturgis here. We just watched the bugs come off of that one very easily because it's ceramic coated. I like the new bike, Dean. What's going on here, man?
Yeah, well, I had just taken delivery of this in Daytona from Jerry Covington. Did an awesome job on both of them. Remember, he called me up and said, you know, what do I think about a gray seat? What do you think about it? Because I wasn't quite sure about
Yeah,
gray
no,
seat,
it definitely,
man,
the gray, white.
He knocked it out of the park.
Oh, and it's got a texture in it too.
Well, it's elephant skin.
Wow. Yeah, that really looks good.
He did the two-tone gray with the white stitching, and it's just over the top.
Yeah.
So, of course, as soon as I get the bike, I get it ceramic coated before I want to ride it because I want to get it protected. But I did the seat too.
Nice.
And the ceramic goes on top of fabric and leather, and now if it rains on it, at least it's not gonna weather like it would. And the white stitching, it'll protect the white where it always cleans up.
I did a video about ceramic coatings not too long ago where we just showed one of my buddies had half ceramic coated the plastic on his van and had it sit in the Arizona sun for 2 years. Ceramic coated and not ceramic coated. I'll dig out a screenshot of that, but I mean, it is just such a difference at how stuff ages when it has a ceramic coating versus not having it.
This is interesting to hear you say this because I swear you had a video that showed something about ceramic, you weren't really buying it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of snake oil salesmen out pushing inferior products and they're ripping people off and they're telling them that they're getting the real high quality ceramic coating. But if you want to get the real deal ceramic coating, in my opinion, there's only one place in the world to get it done, and that's right here with the man himself.
Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
My newest paint work here, I had to get the helmet to match the bike. So something simple, I like it because it's got the visor. So we ceramic coat that too, so you get hit with the bugs. They just, actually, it's serious. Your glasses, you get hit with the bugs going down the road, you just flip them right off and they don't stick.
I saw this one out in Sturgis as well.
That was out there, but I finished it since then. So I probably put another 10 or 15 hours in on this painting since I got back here. So
I can tell you right now, there is no way that this camera can even remotely catch all of the detail work going on. I mean, this is just next level.
I'm kind of in turtle mode right now, so I want to do a whole series of these. I've done 6 or 8. I'd like to have 50 of them, and before I move on to something else. So I'm going to just keep doing turtles, and you're going to keep seeing a whole lot of different ones.
It's probably better to be in turtle mode than in burning money mode, right?
Well, that was for Albert Hainsworth.
right. Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I really love this one, and I put another, again, 10, 15 hours on this one since I've been back.
Man, the greens and the blues, guys, this camera is not doing justice. This artwork is just incredible. Oh, what do we got here?
Well, this is the storage area, so it's not as good as a toy barn I'd like to have yet, but give me 6 months and that'll be completed.
Yeah.
So right now, we've got the Lambo, which is looking totally different than what it did when I bought it. We've added the flat black along the bottom, that triangular shape. We just got the white letters on the tires and did the blue pinstripe around the rim.
Yeah, so that's going to be blue. That's going to look really good.
But those are spin-off hubs, so I've got a, they don't have lug bolts. There's no lug bolts holding that on, so it's just a spin-off center hub. So I need to get it jacked up right where it's not going to fall off. Love the wing. Did a lot of
fiber.
Investigating to get the right look that I was looking for, and when it's down it's real sleek and cool, but when it's up it looks dramatic with it almost looks like a double wing.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. So this is the ceramic coating, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just gone.
It's just gone.
Notice our cleaning supplies are Willie's Garage. Part of the history is that back in 05, 04, 03, I was one of the top 10 airbrush artists to go out to Utah, which Willie's Garage put on, and that's Bill Williams. He's been such a fan of cars and everything that he started his own cleaning product line back then. And then it wasn't until about 3 years ago that we started using a lot of the products ourselves. If it's something I like, we use it. If it doesn't do anything different than something else I like, then I don't use it. But we have a wide variety of their products that we use. So you can see up here, these were the 10 airbrush artists that were at the show at the one time. We each had a panel to do.
Which panel was yours?
Mine was up in the upper right there with the Teod on it.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's a pretty talented artist showing up there. Did you win that one?
It wasn't a competition. People could sign up and pay to go watch us paint for 4 days. And then, what you learn from so many different artists is incredible over the years. And then you get down here to this. We had shows at cars at the SEMA show for many years. That's the Viper. That was the centerfold of the magazine there.
I agree with this sign right here. The coolest graphics ever are about to happen.
Back in 05, we were developing our own paint line with a manufacturer, and this was a system of how we came up to keep track of the colors and what to do. I figured we'd go right back to the color wheel. Everyone knows what a color wheel is. You've at least heard of it, but what an easy way to pick your colors if we just went right back to that for paint and custom colors.
Every time I walk through your shop, man, I just love seeing the pictures of all these cool boats you've painted over the years. Just some. That's that same Mamba boat right there.
Yep, yep.
That was in the brand new magazine.
Right. Yep.
And this was a magazine cover from...
Yeah, good luck finding that. It'll be on there somewhere. 2008.
That says a lot about Dean. When his artwork was on a magazine cover in 2008, we opened a 2020 boating magazine, and there's that same boat.
That's right.
Still in the magazines.
Timeless.
The legend is over painting RVs, so they got nothing else to show. They're just showing your stuff you did 10 or 15 years ago.
Consider this the dirty area. This is where everything gets prepped.
This is how they come in. This is a Liberty Coach before anything's been done to it. Brand new Liberty Coach. You would never know.
Got nothing inside. You go inside and look at it. There's nothing in there.
Oh wow! And so this is a quad slide. Very cool.
Try not to show that on film.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. It's going to be a little hard to hear in here because of all of the fans. But wow, this is incredible. Is this what we're looking at right here?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Am I allowed to show this?
Probably.
So over the top. I mean, I like the black and light blue. And that's what this is. Now, what's all that yellow? The yellow's the stencils?
Yeah.
A huge thanks to Dean and the team at The Art of Design for showing us such a cool facility. I appreciate all of you subscribing to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.